in researching for this podcast, one of the things I noticed that a lot of people were giving you accolades for was figuring out on your team what motivates them
Mhm.
and really using that to help them reach their goals. How do you use this skill to keep your team motivated as all of the holiday distractions start to pop up?
Yes, this is one of as a people leader since I started, one of the things I try to do immediately when I meet a new team member or, join a new company is understand why are they there? I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of, fluffy and nice things we could say about why we work at companies, but ultimately you get a paycheck from it. And especially in sales, there's a variable portion of it that you can do with, maybe as you please. And it's tied directly to metrics and outcomes. And so I love to understand, like, hey, not to be too blunt or weird about it, but like, what do you do with your commission check? Like, why are you here? And there's been so many things along the years, and even now that I've learned about people. Some people, it's purely promotion, right? They want to get to that next step. Some people, they're just extremely competitive. It's not about the money, right? But they want to beat like person sitting next to them. And so in one-on-ones, I'll be like, hey, how are you pacing against like blah 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 person, right? I really try to keep one-on-ones very light and conversational with people so that I can get on that level with them. But then for those that are money motivated, there's so many things, right? Down payment, sneakers, saving for a vacation, like growing your family. There's so many things that you can directly tie to outcomes, and there's so many ways to remind that person of those outcomes when times are slow or things are going wrong. So, in the holiday season, if somebody is just not hitting activity goals, let's say, I can easily point to that thing. Like, let's say they told me they want to hit 120% because they want to buy some designer purse. I can literally like send them a picture of that purse and be like, how are we tracking towards this, right? Or like ask in our one-on-one. And that's the like level of connection and trust I really try to build with my team, because most people don't want to hear like, hey, you're falling behind pace. They usually know that already. Our metrics are very visible. They usually know that. But sometimes if you're like, hey, where are you towards your personal goal? It helps them to take that ownership and really, really pick up the pace or do the activities that they need to get there. And then it's also a way, if they just aren't motivated by it anymore, you can reevaluate too. At that stage, you can have a really open and transparent conversation about like, hey, I don't see this as being your motivation anymore. Like, help me help you figure out what that next thing is going to be, and let's work through this slow time. So highly recommend for any managers out there, do that before Q4 so that you can manage your team with just emojis and gifts through the holiday season.